of the Ashleigh Williams Show. I'm your host, Ashleigh Williams, and today we about to get spicy, y'all. We about to talk about these ATL hairstylists, and I got none other than the best hairstylist in ATL. I'm saying it, in my opinion, the only one that count on this show. Welcome, Nakia!
Hi, I am Kia. Kia does my hair on Instagram.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you, Kia. Yes, so make sure y'all follow her right now, because let me tell you, if I don't get my appointment, I'm gonna be mad. So follow her, be on the lookout for when her book's open, and I'll share her information. But yes, I found her a year and a half ago in the middle of the Atlanta Hair Stylist Epidemic. I could never get an appointment. I would get a silk press and my hair is frizzy the next day. I was out here struggling, so I'm so blessed to have met you. I can go into her salon, and it's not just her. Everybody in there can do hair. There's always availability. So Kia, first tell me about you. I want to know a little bit more about you, and then we'll get into it.
Well, since you come to me literally every month, you know that I am the owner of Royal Bliss Hair Studio.
Yeah.
I have a few stylists in the salon. We're located in Roswell, Georgia. We are a healthy hair care and extension salon, so we focus on all things healthy hair care, scalp care, and things in that nature. And yes, we are growing and thriving in Roswell. I decided to go a little up because I remember when I moved to Atlanta, it was not a lot of stylists or good hairstylists in the North region. So I was like, I think this is gonna be my little side. I like the city and I like the South Side and every other area, but that area needed me. It needed Royal Bliss Hair Studio. So we are there, and yeah, everybody can book an appointment with myself or any of my other stylists, and y'all will be amazing and feel good inside while you're getting your hair done and everything in that matter.
Yes, that's where I go. I just be like, can I come hang out with
Ashleigh is
y'all?
spoiled. Ashleigh is spoiled in the salon. Like, she will come because you blow dry me, you press me out, you give me a shampoo, anybody. She go and get her way, y'all. It's might as well be your salon.
Period. It just brings back old school salon every 2 weeks. All of the beauticians are communal. It doesn't feel like a competition. You actually care about the person in your chair. I feel like another reason why the Atlanta hairstylist scene is so bad is because it isn't consistent clientele. You're just getting new clients every day. So you're not forming that relationship. People are chair hopping. So I would just go just to hang out. They don't even have to touch my head. I just enjoy the space. It brings back so many memories from when I was younger.
And that's what I wanted for that space anyway. For my space is to be able to give that old school feeling, but in the new time. So, back then it was just different with the way the care was for the hair. So I was bringing in hair care, but just that community feeling, that wholesome feeling that you get, just like how you come in there and you just be out there like, all right, you come up there with your computer working, and leave, and a lot of other people do too, because it just feels good, and we just there to make you feel just like that every single time.
Yes. And when I first met you, you told me, how long have you been doing hair? So how long? Because she got credibility. So how long have you been in the game? What's your experience?
I have been in the industry over 15 years. I started really, really young. Like, even at 12 and 13, I was working in salons. And by the time I moved to Atlanta, I was about 17 years old. And I just kept going from there. This is the only thing I've ever done in my life. So I don't have any choice but to be experienced. Anybody who's been in the industry as long as I have and still not experienced, something ain't right. But I've been in the industry for over 15 years. I've owned a salon for over 8 years. This new location I have had over 5 years. So yes, I'm continuing to grow and learn every single year with the industry, because now we changing it up almost every month.
Yes. So with your experience back home growing up, doing booth rent, I'm assuming, and now owning your own salon, what's your take on the ATL hairstylist scene?
I think, of course it's bad. It gets really, really bad because, you've seen the TikToks, you've seen everybody on Instagram. Heck, when you first came to me, you was one of them girls that went in, was it a silk press?
Yes.
But it looked like a blow dry?
Yes.
I think that these days and time with the Atlanta hairstylists more so, and I think it's not just Atlanta, I think it's big city areas all around the US. I think a lot of times, especially with the suites, the girls are getting out of school and they just like, oh, I'm about to do this. I'm gonna get my suite. And now everybody running around for like the aesthetics look, and they like, oh, I'm gonna get, my wall and my pumpers wall. They're forgetting about the actual education and the customer service behind being a hairstylist. And that is like what's super important, because I remember growing up, one of this old hairstylist, she told me that you can mess up somebody here one good time, but when you have good customer service and good communication, they're gonna come back and you can talk about that and give you another chance at it. So I always, even when I was doing hair outside my house, customer service was like the biggest thing for me. Now, of course, when it comes down to the hair education and the skill, I got that. But when you have the customer service too, it's just the icing on the cake. So I think that some of them is lacking that because they don't necessarily go to salons. I think you still need that salon culture and experience, because that teaches you a lot.
Yes, I agree. So, any other tips you would give new hairstylists or the hairstylists that feel like they fall into that category of going off on us and on their booking side and $1 million if you're late? What advice would you give them to help shift the perspective on how they do business so we can begin rewriting that narrative?
See, that's the tricky one, because I think that it's a miscommunication for the stylist and the actual customers. I do. I can't just sit up and say, oh, the stylist is all wrong. Now, when it comes down to the laws and all of all of that, they like to say, oh, you can't charge a deposit. But the reason is because some of y'all clients, y'all like to book these appointments and literally just don't show up. And if y'all don't know, people have 9 to 5s and you're going to get paid. You got PTO, you have so many things. But with hairstylists and with any type of clientele work, you have to depend on the person who said that they're coming and who booked that appointment. So now, for a 2.5 hour slot that a person may thought that I'm getting paid $150, upwards of $350, that's gone. And someone could have been there. So for the most part, the advice I would say is just to be clear and understanding as well, because there are times where some of my clients have to cancel last minute and I don't charge them. Sometimes they say, hey, this is an emergency that came up. I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do? And we just move from there. But now there are times where you just got to stick to the code. This is what it is. You did a no call, no show, baby girl. That's not okay.
Oh, I feel that. So I like that. Putting the responsibility on both parties. Let's communicate better and work together so that we can have good experiences. We won't belabor that point, but I just needed an actual credible hairstylist to come talk about your perspective on the hairstylist scene. At the end of the day, y'all, find somebody that works for you. If it gives bad vibes, don't go to them.
And I'm going to also add that they do not have to have 50,000 followers on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of up and coming stylists who move to the area, who have 10 years experience, but may have 500 followers, Don't always go to the hype, because there are a lot of underrated stylists in Atlanta. And for the ones who, do the whole girl, I forgot you had an appointment today. Sometimes they the ones that do have the 50,000 followers, sometimes or more.
Hey, don't be afraid to find a needle in the haystack. But another reason why I wanted to bring you on is because I think you have a unique experience, not just as a salon owner, but as an entrepreneur in general. So talk us through some of the other entrepreneurial adventures you have.
Because it's been some adventures. And it still is. I've been an entrepreneur, I like to say, all my life. This is the only thing that I've done. And it comes with so many ups and downs, especially because a lot of times in our community, we don't have a lot of people to advocate for us. We don't have a lot of people to back us financially or just speaking up and understanding. And then when it comes down to the workers, sometimes, we have our own mistakes that we make as the owners, and it's not always understanding to your employees. So you have to literally get in here and understand every single thing in this entrepreneurial world, because if it ain't one thing, it's another. It ain't never no perfect sleep. I don't care how big the company is, it's gonna always be something that you just gotta push through and maneuver with.
Right. And so what are some of the other things that you do? You have your hair salon. I think you do real estate.
Yes.
Talk us through that.
Answer that question again.
What I say?
You said talk us through real estate. I said
You judging me because I'm singing my word.
No,
Okay.
besides hair.
Okay. So I know you have other entrepreneurial ventures other than owning your own hair salon. I think you do real estate.
Yes.
So walk me through that. What's that journey look like?
It's a beautiful journey and it's just as hard. For some reason, I decided when I opened the current salon that I have, at the same time, I decided to go into real estate literally the same exact month. And it has been a roller coaster. I have rental properties. I have like a small community on the south side of Atlanta and more rental properties just spread it out. And I love it because I get to still help people, which was the reason why I continue in my hair industry. Being in the rental industry, it gets very complicated because again, it comes with the business. But to be able to help assist families it's just something that I would always enjoy doing because sometimes people just need that help. Sometimes people just need somebody else to understand. But hey, again, you still got to follow some type of rules because people do take advantage of that. So yeah, I'm just continuing to grow. I think I'm about 14 or 15 properties now. So so I'm continuing to grow. I have so many dreams of just being able to help so many more families and assist them with starting at rental properties and moving on to home ownership and continuing to grow themselves. I think that a lot of times people need steps. Nobody that you rent from is going to say, hey, if you build your credit score, if you save some money, or do you know about these programs that help with assistance with buying or anything? Nobody's necessarily doing that. And if they are, I love that for them as well. But for people, who don't necessarily understand, I think that my goal is to continue to help push them into that. And if they want to rent, that is literally okay too. It is okay with renting. People push home ownership, but it's okay with rent. Sometimes I want to be a renter. Hell.
Me too. So to that point, when you're thinking about assisting people from renting to home ownership, what are some programs, some resources that people can think? Because I think millennials want to buy homes. We want that for ourselves, but it's hard.
And it's getting harder. Because the home prices, they are what they are now. And a lot of people think that you're about to go and get a house for $80,000 like you could back in 2008. But even for some of the homeowners, for the renters who want to become homeowners, we have some renters that's on Section 8. Even the state itself have programs for them. If they look into it, you could still get assistance through the government for that. NACA is one of the known ones, and the percentage, I had a friend who actually did purchase a home going through their program. And I was just jealous myself because I think her interest rate was probably about 1.5% or even less than that. But it takes time and you have to put in the work yourself. It's just not all on the program. You still have to get through it yourself. The same way they have to put work in building it, you have to put work in actually going through their steps to get to the end so they can actually give you that assistance.
Nice. I like that. I love that you just care so much about people, and I think it shows in everything that you do. But I also think you have an interesting personal journey that has allowed you to show up in this way. So talk to me about what it was like growing up and some challenges that you've had to overcome.
Well, I grew up in Savannah, Georgia. And I did grow up in a two-parent household, but we had a lot of financial issues and things like that. And I think that I used to think that everything was okay until you start realizing the struggles that your parents have. We was in Savannah. We ended up losing our home during the 2008 crisis. And I remember I was young. I was in middle school, but I was like, this ain't never happened to me again. Just happened to uproot and just move because of financial challenges that you have. And at the time, it was giving anybody a home. But see, I didn't know that. All I knew is I had a home. I was too young to understand the actual background. So now, I just try to push through because having things and losing things so much becomes hard. You'll get one step forward and you got to go 15 steps, not even 10. You got to go almost 15 steps behind. You know what I'm saying? So my parents now, because of the struggles that my parents had financially, I think that's the biggest thing that I be trying to get people to understand. Look, save money, but not just in your savings account, invest it. And I used to be scared too. That was one of the biggest challenges I had. I still think to this day that I would be probably even 15 steps ahead if I didn't let those same fears be instilled in myself, because I was so scared that if I take $1 to invest it, I would lose something, that something will go wrong. So those challenges, I still face them today, but you have no choice but to keep going and keep investing and keep learning and understanding and reading.
I like that. What are some paths or advice that you would give someone who's looking to start investing and they don't know what to do, where to start?
One of the biggest things I say is start making money and having less debt.
Ooh, that's good, kid. Talk about it.
Child, we know how to use them credit cards and swipe and swipe and
Swipe.
swipe. And people find loans to be so resourceful. Like, stop over living. You kind of go into, especially today with the internet, like, people want to be that it person so bad, but you really don't have to be. Like, I promise nobody really care. Like, you don't have to have designer. You don't have to have, all of the latest things that you see on the internet. So to go back to it, I say, like, start learning how to make as much money as you can so that you can save and invest more, but without actually getting debt. Have roommates, house hack, stay with your mama. You know what I'm saying? You don't need the high-rise apartment or just any apartment on its own. Like, just find ways to make more money and save more money, because that's what I did. I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't done that. When I was coming up, I had about 3-4 jobs and still doing hair. Yeah.
I need to be more of a saver. I'm a spender.
No, you need to save.
Save.
Listen, you got so many different programs, so many different ways that you can actually save money with different type of savings accounts that some of the banks offer, and it's not all traditional. It's about knowing what works for you, because I can tell you to do it one way, but it just might not work, But there's so many ways to save that you can say, okay, well, how about this way? You just got to find a way and actually stick to the program.
We might need to get a financial advisor on the show to help us get
No,
down.
seriously, yeah. Y'all need it, because I think that it can be so useful for people who just don't even understand money. When you understand money,
girl, make it work for you, huh?
Yeah.
So to that point, how do you measure success?
How do I measure success? I measure success by the things that you actually get done. It's not all about the amount of money you have in your bank account.
That's good.
Sometimes feeding the homeless is your success story, because a person could have always wanted to do that and could be successful at doing that, especially with doing it consistently. So it's not all about the number in your bank account. It's about the things that you're actually checking off the list, that you were successful at it. Same with your show. This is something that you wanted to do. So you can't deny your success at it because it's not making you $1 million today.
I know you used to teach other hairstylists how to operate salons. So what are some other resources out there for hairstylists or other entrepreneurs to help make sure that they succeed in that first few years of ownership?
Mentors in general. Now,
talk about it.
Now, you gotta find a right type of genuine mentor. I had found one myself, and I remember it was so hard. And learned that you gotta pay those people. When you find a mentor, be willing to pay the prices, because we took a lot and spent a lot to get the information that we have. More importantly, we had a lot of downfalls and mistakes that we had to make, and mistakes cost money, okay? It's not saying that you as the mentee have to pay for it, but it's just about the respect. It's about what we are willing to do and the time that we're willing to give for that. So I say find a really, really good mentor that you can work with and who could be patient with you, and start and go from there.
I like that. So I know mentor relationships can be challenging because they challenge you to do hard things. So what is something in your mentor relationship that you were kind of afraid to do or hesitant to do, but you've done it and now you're grateful for it?
The whole thing, honestly. The whole thing. My mentor, she came at me, shout out to Tani. She told me to basically just start over, start from scratch. My system was working, but it needed a beat, it needed an extra beat to it. So we just broke down my entire system and built it back up, from changing the prices, removing services, adding services, and so many more things that I was kind of scared to do myself. But even with my mentor, it's like that first meeting, I was like, But I had to realize why. Why did you reach out to her? You obviously need the help. So whatever it is that they're telling you to do, it's going to be a challenge regardless. So just do it because you can always undo it. You already made the mistake. So if you want to go back to that mistake, feel free. You know what I'm saying? But you can always kind of like undo, or sometimes people, give you advice. And the same for my mentor, she would say, do one thing, and I would tweak it a little bit. That kind of works a little bit better for me because they're only telling you the best that they can see,
And so still having that foresight to say, okay, I'm going to take the meat over here, but I'm going to make this work for my situation.
Yeah, just
I
a
like
little razzle
that.
dazzle on top.
And I think that helps people get to that point of vulnerability. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't viable, right? Like, they're
Yeah.
mentoring me, but I still have responsibility to know my business,
Exactly.
know my customers.
Exactly, because it's not entrepreneurship. The one thing I can say, it's not a one size fit all, and it'll never be. You can go and read as many books as you can. You can have 5 mentors, but you still gotta know your own stuff through and through.
What's some of the common misconceptions that people have about business owners?
So we just have it our way. I think that's the biggest thing. They just think you can just get up. Oh, when I become a business owner, I don't want to be a 9 to 5 because I want to do what I want to do and say what I want to say, and not really listen to anybody. But I personally, my customers and my employees, those are my bosses, because at the end of the day, you walking around like, oh, do this, do that, say this. People gonna walk out the door because everybody have different perspectives. Listen to your employees, listen to your clients, listen to the people around you. No, you don't have to do everything, but that little tip that they might say, like, hey, instead, could we do this or add this? Consider doing it because it helps.
Oh, that's good. The customers are your bosses. Because
Yes.
I'm tired of people, quit your 9 to 5, be an entrepreneur. You still have to answer to somebody.
You still have to answer to somebody, and baby, that first 2, 3, 4, these days 5 years, you have to put in the work. You can't just go run across country hopping and doing what you want to do because you're an entrepreneur. You got to put in work in your business. You have to work in your business.
And right now in your salon, you have a couple of stylists. Everybody has consistent clientele. What does the next 5 years look like for you?
Sometimes I get scared at my next 5 years because sometimes I want to go big. Sometimes I want to open another location and, have products and things like that. But this year I decided to just see it through because I do dream big and I want to be able to kind of be still. But my dream in general is to be able to provide healthy products for customers all over the world and to continue to grow with the industry and to continue to have stylists that's growing with me. I love the fact that I continue, when I'm seeking stylists for my salon, I'm looking for somebody who's genuine and who actually want to take their time and care for the hair. Not somebody who's looking for a fast come up or, just do a weave, So if I can take that and duplicate it in another location, then let's do it. But for now, I'm just going to love on my Roswell location and continue to grow. We will be having products and things like that. So I am excited for that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
When I was pivoting from Cincinnati to Ohio, or Cincinnati is in Ohio. Cincinnati to Atlanta, I was struggling with the changes. Somebody said to me, sometimes you just got to sit still. Like, we always try to go for the next thing, but sometimes you got to be still and honor where God has you. So I'm so glad you brought that up because we always want the next thing, and I think that builds lack of contentment in our lives when really we're blessed. We have everything that we need.
Like, that's super, super big. And I had to learn that lesson myself. And that's why I say it's always something. It's a good thing for you to grow, but it's also, I'm not going to say you grow too fast or anything, but sometimes you don't even understand how you got there because you just kept wanting to, get to the next point. And like you said, you lose that momentum, you lose that love that you actually had for it because now it turns into this ongoing machine and you end up getting burnt out.
We don't want burnout because I need my silk press, I need my quick weave. We're cutting my hair. She doesn't know it. I want to cut. I don't want to cut. I want curtain bangs.
We had curtain bangs.
Curtain bangs. Short curtain bangs.
Okay, we're going to think about it because that's my hair. I don't.
Child,
I think about it.
You see who runs
No,
the show?
because what's gonna happen is when that hair get curly, you're gonna be looking crazy. You're gonna be like, yeah, my curls at the top. It's just gonna do it. Should we just cut in the bob? I have to get you in that chair and put you in the mirror and show you what it's gonna be short, straight and curly, before you make that decision.
Let's just do a closure for now.
Okay.
I think that's what I want that for Paris though.
For Paris?
Yeah.
What we doing Paris?
For my birthday.
Oh.
You gonna come?
Paris. Okay, come on.
You been, so don't do that.
I've been and I loved it.
So you should come again.
Okay, when?
March the 9th through the 14th.
I think I got a wedding.
Who get married?
She can't. You don't know what's on
You're supposed to be matchmaking for me. Where are you in that?
Oh gosh, Ashleigh. I don't think you picky. I think that it's hard because like me knowing you, I'll be looking for somebody who can like really be real to themselves. So if y'all looking for a beautiful woman who is super genuine, loving, so cool and down to earth, y'all got her right here. My girl is looking for a husband. Okay?
Husband, heavy on it.
Heavy on husband. A real man. You don't like them too old, right?
Not too old.
Not too old.
Not too
You
old.
know,
But we do
30.
older.
We do older. Maybe
Yeah.
about 32, 33.
We can do older than that, to be
Oh,
honest.
we can go 45.
I'm turning 30 this year.
Yeah, okay, let's go to 45.
Okay.
You know,
That's our
somebody who
limit.
can really like, it's not about being patient, but it's just about somebody who can just really get down with you. You know,
A man's man.
that's it. That's it. An honest one.
Period. Honest. Heavy on honest. But to that point, because I feel like we're all struggling. We all struggling with our hair with these men. So give us advice on dating. Because we talked about it. And I don't think I'm doing it right.
Oh, I gotta switch media. I only got 2 minutes left. You going longer than 2 minutes, right?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Janae.
She's from Janae.
And action.
Kia, I feel like us millennial girlies are all struggling with our hair and trying to find a man. So how should we date? Like, I know I'm confused. We talk about it. I'm confused.
What the hell got to do with it though?
I'm just saying, we
That's
talked
just
about
a struggle.
Yeah, because we
Okay.
can't find well, they can't find a hairstylist. I found mine. But I'm speaking for the girlies.
Yeah. When it comes down to the dating part, that get tricky, right? Because we all know everybody want a man with money and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for running his pockets forever. However, I've seen some girls who just meet a guy and be like, oh, you gonna do this for me and you gonna do that for me. I think a lot of people is losing that like organic like talk, that organic conversation. And I've seen it with my own eyes. Even though me, I'm committed, but I think that y'all just gotta be a little patient when it comes down to the understanding. But the dudes gotta step up too, real bad. The dudes gotta step up because they're a little crazy themselves. I've seen it. A lot of my homegirls are single. My sister's single. Hell, I be trying to find you a man too. But stop with the whole like, oh, what you gonna do for me? Because any man, any real man, he gonna do what he's supposed to do anyway.
Without you asking.
Without you asking. Y'all ain't gotta come every time. A real man gonna step up like he's supposed to be, but it's just like I think sometimes girls looking for like the man with the money, skipping over the real man with the money. That you finding the perception of it, but you skipping over the real one. So
I think I'm taking a similar approach to you and just being still. I feel like everything in my life other than dating has happened when I've just been living my life. Like, of course I'm intentional about things, but it's not, oh, let me look. So I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
It's going to happen when it happens.
literally, cause let me tell you something. God don't make no mistakes.
At all.
And like one thing about it is he already know what he have planned for you anyways. I think that's when people kind of lose touch like a lot with themselves and what life is when they're trying to force things on themselves and force situations. Like don't force it. Just be still and let God present to you what he's trying to give you in the first place. But we miss it sometimes because we're trying to, oh, I'm about to go do this thing. Being too much, just calm down a little bit,
Ooh, I hope y'all caught that. Don't miss God for trying to do you. That's a word. Let me find out you're a preacher.
Come on now. Preacher Brown in the house.
Right, Preacher Brown. I'm finna change your name on my phone. So if you think about 3 tips, it can be anything, business ownership, life, whatever, that you would leave with the viewers. What advice would you give? Top 3.
I don't know if I have the numbers, but let me say this. I'm gonna go down for a lot of things. Hair care. When it comes down to the hair care, I always say we are the only ones. Black women are the only people to take care of black women. Okay, we are the only ones who can help confide, who can help understand some of the struggles that we deal in society. So for the hairstylist, just be patient with your clients and love on them, because sometimes people come in here in the salon and have the biggest struggles and they still make it and they still chose you. That's the one thing. When it comes down to entrepreneurship, I say find as much help and assistance, because entrepreneurship is not a one-man show. You're gonna need help. In the same way they say it takes a village to raise a child, entrepreneurship is that child, and it takes the world to raise that because it's a lot. So don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to invest into the help that you need, because sometimes that help comes with money. And for life itself, trust God. And I'm gonna stop it right there, because that's the best that I can say when it comes to life. We're gonna always have our ups and downs. We come across so many things that we can't predict, but God is gonna be able to lead you and get you through whatever it is.
Amen. Pass around the offering plate on that one. I know you were nervous. How did that feel?
It felt real good.
I'm proud of you.
You ain't asked the question about the
I'm fin to. That's where I was going.
Oh. We can cut that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I might leave it in. Did you get a porch vibe from? Is this giving porch?
Nah, a little living room vibe, not porch.
Oh. Okay.
That's what you was going for?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I used to sit on the porch with my granny, and we used to just talk about life, and it just became a staple in our whole family. Like everybody would come, sit on the porch, and have fun. So that's what I was trying to bring to the camera.
I won't take that away, because I could say that we had like a bench. I used to do the same thing with my granny. Yeah. So I won't take that away from this setup.
But just keep working on it.
It might just need a little
razzle-dazzle.
Razzle-dazzle.
That's the word. You may not get it on the first try, but if at first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again. Dust yourself off and try again. Try again.
That was so amazing. Thank you so much for having me, girl.
Kia, I love you. Like, I consider you more than my hairstylist.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for you. And you don't know, I might cry because I love you just that much. So thank you so much for showing up for me, and I appreciate that. So y'all, Kia does my hair, Royal Bliss Hair Salon. We're gonna make sure all of that is in the description so that you can get, and all things, not just weave, natural hair, relaxed hair, weave, everything you want, ponytail, silk press. You want it, they got it.
And we have extensions for you to purchase on royalblisshairco.com, and book with my stylist at royalblisshairsalon.com, and it's going to be an experience you will not regret.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode of the Ashleigh Williams Show. Don't forget to come back next week for our episode, and like, comment, and subscribe. How was that with Ryan? Look. Wrap it up.